Good morning, Year 1 and Year 2. I'm here to read you a Chinese folktale today called The Wishing Fish. Now, there are some tricky words in this Chinese folktale because they're Chinese words and I don't speak Chinese. But I'll try and explain those tricky words as I go along. And I want you to be thinking, when I'm reading the story, about another fairy tale that this might remind you of. Okay, so here we go. The Wishing Fish, a Chinese folktale. Many hundreds of years ago in ancient China, there lived a cave chief called Wu. He had 2 wives. Unfortunately, his first wife died soon after her baby girl was born. Chief Wu called his young daughter Yi Shan, and he loved her. She was very beautiful, with shiny dark eyes, silken hair, and small feet, because in ancient China, small feet were a sign of beauty. Now, before Yi Shan grew to be married, Chief Wu died, oh dear, leaving Yi Shan to be reared by her stepmother. Her stepmother was an ugly woman with dark hair and expensive clothes. She was also a mean woman, and so was her daughter. Looking at the daughter was like looking at a younger version of the stepmother, but she was lazier and even more cruel. Neither one liked Li Shan because they thought her more beautiful and more clever than themselves. The stepmother gave Yi Shan the worst jobs, like washing the clothes, carrying water, and stoking the fire under the kang. Now, that's a Chinese word which means like a fireplace. And the kang was a sleeping platform where only she and the stepsister slept, cozy and warm. Yi Shan obeyed her stepmother. She was a hard worker and never complained. This is reminding me of a fairy tale. One day, while scrubbing clothes on the rocky edge of a stream, Yi Shan spied a lovely little fish with big golden eyes and shimmering red fins. She loved it so much, she carefully carried it home and put it in a big bowl. Although Yi Shan was given little food from her nasty stepmother, she shared her few grains of rice with the fish. As the fish grew, the bowl became too small, so Yi Shan carried it back and released it into the stream. Each time she brought wash into the stream or came to collect water, the red fish with big golden eyes and shimmering red fins would leap out of the stream onto the bank to greet her. This beautiful fish became Yi Shan's only friend. Yi Shan's stepmother knew about the fish. Angry that Yi Shan had found happiness, she planned to kill the fish. But whenever she went to the stream, the fish would hide in the deepest water. So the cruel stepmother thought of a cunning plan. One evening, while Yi Shan was bathing in her large tub near their cave, she put on her stepdaughter's shabby worn-out coat and crept to the stream. Unaware of the danger, the little fish floated up to the bank to greet the cunning old lady disguised as Yi Shan. Swiftly, the stepmother took her sharp knife and killed the fish. That's terrible. The stepmother carried it back to the cave and cooked it for supper. Then she threw the bones into the scrap heap. Oh dear. When the fish did not appear the next day, Yi Shan was anxious. Then she learned of the fish's death. She could do nothing but weep alone on the rocky bank of the stream. As she sat weeping for her only friend, a gentle old man wearing a rumpled rough coat with silvery messy hair tied in a tight bun flew from the sky and landed by her side. "Do not be sad, child," he said. "I am here to help you. I know where the fish bones are. Go and find them and keep them safe. Your fish friend was magic, and when you are in need, that which you need will be given. But remember, don't be greedy. You will only be given that which you need." That's a bit tricky. Yi Shan recovered the fish bones and hid them in a large old pot near the fire that kept the kang warm. She seldom used the magic bones unless she was hungry or cold. Li Shang would wait until the snores of her stepmother and sister filled the cave, and then make a wish for food or a warm blanket. While they slept, she would hide her small wishing gifts and the magic fish bones back in the safety of the large old pot. In summer, a cave festival was celebrated, and before long the evening of the cave festival arrived. People came from all around to dance and eat special food in celebration of the harvest, but Yi Shang was ordered to watch the fire while her stepmother and stepsister took their carriage to the festival. That reminds me again of another fairy story. Can you think about what I'm thinking about? Yi Shang longed to go to the celebration. She wished upon the bones for clothes to wear to the festival, and immediately a splendid robe of shimmering red silk embroidered with gold fish appeared beside the fire. For her feet, a pair of golden satin slippers with fish made of rubies appeared, as well as a hair comb of carved jade set with precious pearls. Her father's faithful old horse, Li Na, would carry her safely to the festival. How dazzled Li Shang was by the festival! She saw the tiny swinging coloured lanterns. She tasted the delicious sweet bean cakes. She heard the fast, exciting music. She stood wide-eyed, staring at all the villagers around her, until she found to her horror that she was staring straight into the eyes of her stepsister. Truly scared she would be recognized, she fled the festival in such haste that a golden satin slipper fell from her foot. Li Shang raced home and took her place beside the Kang and slept. When her stepmother and stepsister came home, they found nothing unusual. Li Shang's golden slipper was discovered by a travelling silk merchant, who a short time later showed it to the king of Tu-Han, whose kingdom of many lands was one of the richest kingdoms of all of ancient China. Captivated by the tiny dainty slipper, the young king inquired of its owner. He commanded his soldiers to search the kingdom and find the young woman with such a dainty foot, because remember, the smaller the foot, the more beautiful you were in ancient China. But she was nowhere to be found because the slipper would magically change size to fit no one but Li Shang. That's clever. The eager king called the merchant to inquire of where the slipper was found, only to discover it was somewhere near a cave village in the mountains. King Tu-Han himself journeyed to the mountains, but could not believe that the owner of the golden slipper would live in such poor circumstances. Still, he had his soldiers search every cave for the other slipper. In Li Shang's cave they found it, along with the gown that Li Shang had worn to the festival, in the large old pot beside the Kang. Firstly, Li Shang's stepmother tried on the slipper, but it was far too small. Then her stepsister tried, but the slipper simply squeezed her foot until she squealed. Li Shang was finally taken before the king. Beautiful as she was, the king questioned whether a village girl in a worn-out coat would have a foot dainty enough to fit the golden slipper. His soldiers produced the gown and the other slipper, and the king demanded Li Shang try on the clothes. Before long, from inside Chief Wu's cave, a shy young girl appeared, looking very beautiful in her splendid red and gold robe and jade hair comb. On her feet, the golden slippers were the perfect fit. At that moment the king realized that he would make Li Shang his wife and would love her forever. The stepmother and stepsister begged for forgiveness, and Li Shang forgave them for their cruelties. The king took Li Shang back to his kingdom. With her, Li Shang took nothing but the magic fish bones, which the king used until he had enough gold, jade, and jewelry for his needs. Then he buried the fish bones near the shore, where they were washed away by the tide. They have never been found to this day. Li Shang became queen, and with her king lived happily ever after. What a beautiful story, Year Ones and Year Twos. Now, I reckon you can think of another story that reminds you of. But tell me, if you found those fish bones, what would you do with them?